Good morning, everyone. Oh, we're dark. We're dark. What's going on there? Sort that out. Let's sort that out. There we go. There we go. We're a bit lighter. I can see it now. It looked like looks like it was the middle of the night and I was sat in, my office in the middle of the night in darkness. There you go. So we're not now. We're all right. Hump day. Good to be here with you on a Wednesday. Good to be able to talk to you. Let me plug something first. Let me plug this. This is on YouTube, and it would be a big bonus to me if you went and subscribed to the YouTube channel. It would mean an awful lot. So if you could do that, that would be really nice. Go away and do that. That'd be lovely. And then the other thing that's happening that actually fits with what I'm about to talk about is that I've got a Patreon channel site. What would that be? Got a Patreon going on, and part of that, there's a few things going on that, and I'll share the link afterwards underneath here and on Facebook when I post this to Facebook. What's going on tonight is a live guided meditation, and they're free at the minute. But eventually, maybe in a few weeks' time, they'll move on to one of the Patreon layers. And level 1, £3. That's it, £3 a month. That's it. And I'll be doing live guided meditations every week at various times. Might move them about a bit, might leave them the same, don't know yet. I'll respond to whatever people are asking for. And also, if you're a social worker, well, if you're not, they're interested anyway. But if you're a social worker, I've been releasing the bite-size social work shorts podcasts early on there. So the next 2 are already up, and they're not available till next Saturday and the Saturday after. So they're there if you'd like them. And they'll also be launching very soon a self-care shorts podcast on there as well, which will only be available to subscribers. £3. £3. Do you know what I mean? Not even the price of a coffee. Not even the price of a coffee. To get these pearls and gems of wisdom from this fellow with a beard. There you go. So that's what's going on. Anyway, onward to the thing. Let's see what I was going to talk about. Hump Day, Wednesday. Read a book years ago. It was really interesting. A guy called Sturmy, I think he was called The Calendar Effect. And it was a real kind of eye-opener, I suppose, in terms of how the calendar affects what we do. It affects our mood. It affects the changing and shaping interactions that we have with people. We have names for these things, don't we? Hump Day is today, which I'm going to talk about. But we kind of leave it because we've constructed this week, this Monday to Friday week and Saturday, Sunday weekend. It dictates what we do. It defines what we do. It defines the sort of things that are on TV. It defines the sort of entertainment that's available, doesn't it? Those kind of things, to an extent. Not so much now, I suppose, with Netflix, but it has for a long time. And it does. Saturday night telly, if you're watching scheduled telly, is different to other telly, isn't it? And it does benchmark our week. Monday night this is on, Tuesday night that's on, even though we can watch these things whenever we want. And then, we have that Sunday night feeling, that Monday morning feeling, that Friday afternoon feeling. And you kind of think, well, why? Because it's just another day. It's just another day. Each day is, 24 hours long, and each day happens after the previous day, and all of those things. So we've got this thing called the calendar effect, where how we feel and how we motivate ourselves, how we energize and what we do is controlled by this thing, which is just a construct. It's just been constructed by us over millennia to kind of describe and define things, I suppose. And then, it's Easter, so we should be doing this, that, or the other. Then it's summer, so we should be having a summer holiday. We should be doing that, and then now it's all, isn't it? Oh, I saw this morning there was some when I was walking the dog, there was some Halloween things up on people's doors. We buy more stuff because it's Halloween, and then it'll be Guy Fawkes, won't it? It'll be bonfire night, and then it'll be Christmas, and we treadmill. Just like stop, man. Each day is the same. Each day is just another day to look after ourselves and kind of get the best out of the day that has been offered to us. The blessing of waking up one morning and going, right, I've got another day. Happy days, because the alternative is not to have another day, isn't it? So anyway, so I read that, and that was really interesting. And I was listening to just while I was having my breakfast, I was listening to a podcast, BBC podcast from just July of this year about work. Does work have to be miserable? And what they were saying in there was on that was that we have to move away from presenteeism. So move away from people being in the office on particular days and move to task-based working. And one of the commentators on there running a business was essentially saying, staff come in the morning, they've got these. I know this doesn't really apply to all jobs, but if it does, it'd be great. You've got 5 jobs to do. Do those 5 jobs to completion so that they're right and they're checked off and everybody's happy. And then you go home. You know what I mean? So it rewards efficiency, I suppose, which ultimately, I suppose, it is a capitalist dream. But it also rewards you, because if you work efficiently, get the job done, then you get to go home earlier than you would maybe, So I think, and a colleague of mine said to me years ago, we need to stop paying people for hours worked and start paying them for jobs done. And I kind of really, that really appeals to me. And like I say, it doesn't fit every job role, but I mean, you can make it fit. It doesn't particularly fit my job role, I suppose, because I have to be available in that. But there's nothing nicer than thinking, right, what are the things I want to get out of the way today? Getting them done early, win in the morning, and then thinking, right, okay, it's lunchtime, and I've got all the things done that I absolutely have to do today. So now I can start to work on things that kind of, that I don't have to do today, but will mean I can kind of get ahead of myself a bit, and get ahead of myself a bit with things. So really important. I think that's a really important message, not to be too controlled by the calendar. One of the other things coming out very soon, in fact, I'm just waiting for a proof to arrive in the post to check it over, and then it'll be available. Is the second Focus On book, Focus on Working from Home. And one of the things that I was writing about, and that is, as far as you can, tear up 9 to 5. Forget about 9 to 5. Tear it up, and think about how you can work to suit you and the organization. And obviously that needs some sort of dialogue, doesn't need some dialogue between people. And it's not appropriate to all jobs. But I give the example in there. Sometimes if I've got stuff to do and I want to get my head into it, I get up at 6 o'clock, work till 8:30, and then go off and walk the dog and have breakfast, and maybe start again at 10:30 and work through till, whenever. Sometimes I might have a break on an afternoon, go to the gym, and then work a bit later. We don't have to be, I need to start work at 8:30, and then why am I not finished because it's 5? As long as we're getting rest and recovery in there, then what's the harm of working on an evening if you've had in that day a break during the day, if that suits you? And it absolutely suits lots of people just to work 8:30 till 5 or whatever it happens to be. That suits a lot of people. But if it doesn't, then why can we not have arrangements where we work differently, where people are allowed that flexibility, and as long as the jobs are getting done, happy days. Anyway, steps off soapbox. Anyway, Hump Day, or Wednesday, as we used to call it back in the day. It's the midweek point for most people, still in cultures like ours. So how do we energize? Well, let's start with the basics. Stay hydrated. Do that every day. Just get that out of the way. And then healthy nutrition and exercise and movement are really important on all days. But I think particularly important on Hump Day. I always try and make sure that when I'm planning my exercise for the week, I make sure something goes in on a Wednesday. Absolutely make sure something goes in on a Wednesday, because I know that I won't want to do anything. But what I also know is if I put it in my diary, it's more likely to happen. So if I was just leaving it a chance, I wouldn't do anything on a Wednesday. starting to get, like you say, this calendar effect where we're locked into it, psychologically locked into it. So I've been working since Monday, starting to get tired. It's hump day. I'll just plow on through and not get some exercise, but it's going to improve our mood. And evidence is that it increases productivity in terms of keeping going till the end of the week. Is really important. And I always think, and this could just be me, but I think for lots of us, we've done well on a Monday and Tuesday with eating well, and then by the time we get to Wednesday, we're eyeing up the weekend. So maybe we start to slip with that kind of thing. And there are another couple of things I think that suit thinking about what we do today. Connecting with colleagues is really important. You've probably got in on Monday, you've got your head down because there'd be stuff to do, stuff you needed to organize and sort. So you were ready to kind of, get at the tasks. And then sometimes we just take time to do those tasks and we forget this thing called professional socialization, this thing where when we talk to our colleagues, we feel supported. It gives us a bit of a mental boost, because we're talking to people who are doing the same sorts of things as us. So there's that kind of collegiate kind of feel, I suppose. We're sharing experiences, that kind of thing. We might, and it gives us a break in our routine. We've had our heads down. We need to get our heads back down to get to the end of the week. But let's check in with our colleagues, make sure they're all right, and spend some time talking to them. This professional socialization, when you feel safe in the workplace. When you feel safe in the workplace, you bring your authentic self to the workplace because you're happy to reveal yourself to your colleagues, the true identity of you, the true you. And the closer we are to our true identity, the happier we are. So that's really important. And then I would think that it's time to take stock. That's the other thing. Wednesday is a time to take stock because we're about to get to the tipping point where there's less of the week left than we've had the working week. So I think some meditation, some mindfulness is really good. Just taking some time to kind of recenter ourselves, to take the heat. We're going to start by taking the heat out of the week. We might well be on full tilt still if we just take the heat by just stepping back. And again, it's the same with the exercise, isn't it? Where by taking out some time to meditate, where we're going to center ourselves and prepare ourselves and calm our minds and help us develop that skill of stepping back. And we're going to step back with the next thing that I'm going to talk about. So if you fancy a guided meditation, there's one tonight, live online on Zoom. I'll share the link with you, and I'm doing that at 7:00. Might be useful to you. Plugged it in there because some people said that, but that would be a good time. Might just be practically a good time for them. But actually, when somebody said Wednesday at 7, I thought that's exactly when I was thinking about, for exactly this reason. So then the other thing that moves us into is setting some mini goals for ourselves. So we've probably got things left that we need to do. So we need to reflect on where we've got to in the week and think about where we need to get to. Think about what will success look like at the end of this week? What will having achieved what I want to achieve look like? Start with the end in mind, Stephen Covey. What will it look like? Visualize that success. I talk about visualization being very, very, very potent, a very potent force. So visualize success. What will success look like at the end of the week? What will I have achieved? And that kind of helps you maybe prioritize from a whole bunch of things that you need to do. Helps you to prioritize the things that need to be in your clear line of sight. Things you're aiming at. So spend a few minutes doing that, visualizing the week, maybe with your calendar up, thinking it through, thinking about what success will look like, and that might trigger some things you need to do. We're reflecting all the time, aren't we? Really important. Setting those mini goals. And maybe when you're talking to your colleagues, you talk to each other about what you've achieved so far. That's an important thing as well, isn't it? So setting your stall out. And one of the other things that I would definitely do on a Wednesday, that I do pretty frequently in the middle of the week, is, especially if you're working from home, is tidy your environment up. Bottom out your emails if you're not managing to do that every day, so you can see the wood for the trees. Clear your desk down. Get rid of the rubbish that you've accumulated over the last couple of days, and clear the decks, ready to set those goals, hit those goals for the rest of the week, so that you're good to go. And join me tonight for that meditation, 7 o'clock. I'll share the link where you can find that. All right, gotta go. Take care. See you soon.